All right, traders, welcome to a very special VIP session. We're going to be doing this a little bit different than we do our, sort of typical webinars and that sort of thing. Really want to give you kind of a better inside look at what we're doing and how things are working and how it's helping traders rather than just going through slide deck and looking at a couple things here and there. So we really want to spend time going through some of the stuff that we're working on and that we're doing. So that's going to be the approach for today. A little bit different than the norm. Bear with me one second here. All right, cool. Okay, good to go. All right, so as we get started, of course, this is for educational purposes. There is risk involved with trading. Please understand the risks associated with trading. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to spend most of our time kind of just going over strategy, going over charts and that sort of thing. How many of you have been to one of the trade rooms? Give me a yes in the chat box if you've been to one of the trade rooms. Just want to see where everybody's at in the mix of things. So we got a lot of yes coming up. How many of you have never been to the trade room? Just put a new in the chat box. If you've never been to the trade rooms, put new in there. Okay, cool. Got a lot of newbies. Awesome. All right, well, now's the time. Come into the trade room. Come and trade with us. Come take some of the trades. We'd love to have you in there. Okay, so good stuff. Bear with me to join today. Oh, cool. Yeah. Let me do something. Sean's gonna probably jump in and hang out with us too. So we're gonna have the whole crew here. It's gonna be awesome. All right. So some of you have that have been in the trade room. How many of you have taken a trade with us? Just type a trade in the chat box. If you've been to the trade room and you've copied one of the trades we took, put a trade in the chat box. I want to see where everybody's at on that. Yeah, got Thomas. I know you have Daryl, James. Cool. So some of you have traded with us. Man, oh man. I'm trying to send a link over to Sean so he can join in, and it's just taking forever. So while I'm kind of getting set up, why don't we do this? Why don't we bring in the real mastermind? Why don't we bring in Mr. Ethan Lubovic and have him chat a little bit about the stock side of things? Ethan, are you with us still?
I'm here, Jim. Yeah, it's exciting to see everybody in here. The community just keeps growing and growing organically. I remember we first had, just a couple dozen people a couple of years ago, and all of a sudden we're growing into the hundreds, getting close to seeing sometimes 1,000 people in some of these webinars. It's just absolutely incredible. My name's Ethan Lubovic. I run the stocks trade room Monday through Thursday with Neuro Street Trading Academy between the hours of 8:30 Eastern time and about 11:30 Eastern time. We've been running the room for over a year and a half now. We've got about a 79% win rate in the room. That's over a year and a half. We've taken well over 1,100 or 1,200 trades in the room. It's absolutely incredible what we're able to do here. We do trade demand zones. We only trade the markets long in the trade room. We are long biased in the trade room for many different reasons, especially when it comes to broker specific reasons as well, and depending on which kind of account type you'll be trading. But we walk you through every step of the way. We have our top down trading process, everything there is to know about how to get started, what trades we look for, what markets we're looking to trade, and which stocks we're looking to trade based on fundamental catalysts and based on some technicals as well. We are driven by price action, so we are purely price action traders in the trade room, and anyone can use any platform that they wish to trade on in the trade room. So it's very exciting. I can't wait for the next phase that we have happening here with Neuro Street with the launch of Tick Plays to everybody. We're really excited. I can't wait, and it is imminent. So really excited for that. I see a couple members in here who are some of them are with us in the stocks trade room regularly. So it's good to see some of you here on the global asset side too. And glad to see all your familiar faces and all the new faces here. Welcome, everybody.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, so you've been at this running the stocks room since March of last year. So you got a year of reports in here. And I mean, if you guys look here, there's 995 trades with with a solid win rate, 74 to 75% is kind of the norm for these strategies. So break down a little bit of the process. Do you have the scanners up? Do you want to kind of give a
No, I
quick crash
don't.
course?
I
Don't.
don't.
Okay.
Sorry. No, but you
That's
know what?
okay.
It's unfortunate that you're pulling this up today because take a look at May, right? Last year, May, we had an 84.27% win rate. And Jim just likes to brag. That's what Jim likes to do. He likes to show off that he's probably having a better 2 days than me, right?
Oh
It's
yeah,
May
sure.
2nd. And that's why I knew it. So yeah, we're sitting at a
Yeah.
42% win rate for May, but it's been 2 days and the markets this week have
No,
been pretty
obviously.
challenging, pretty choppy.
Well,
But
yesterday we had
that's
FOMC, and
right.
then today it's post FOMC
That's
hangover.
right.
So I mean,
Right.
it's always a challenge. So no,
But
definitely.
but
Ethan's awesome, guys. He's been doing a great job.
the beauty of that is that with the stocks trade room, um, you know, yes, we trade only long the markets, right? We don't short, we don't take any short positions. But the fascinating thing is that it's been about a year and a half, right, since February last year that we opened up the trade room for the stocks program. And we've gone through many different cyclical changes within the last year and a half, macro environments, changes with
Yeah.
regards to war and interest rate hikes and all these types of things. But we're still able to find strong stocks in these markets. And that's the beauty of the stocks trade room and the strategy that NeuroStreet has implemented for the traders is that it doesn't matter what the markets are doing for the most part, we're still able to find fundamentally strong stocks, right?
That's the beauty of it. You're right. I mean, we've had some down markets, some bear markets on the equities there too, and on the big picture, and still finding some opportunities, no doubt. So why don't we do this? I've got an image here. Couple trades that were taken recently, and so I want to kind of break down with Ethan what he's looking for and how he's finding these trades. I think we could say that I think we would both agree. The stocks trade room is probably like the best kept secret of NeuroStreet, and it kills it constantly. And it's kind of a lot of our traders like to trade futures, but there's a ton of opportunity here on the stock side. Like what Ethan talked about earlier is in the future side, when we're kind of looking, okay, well, we don't have any trades. There was 2 days this week in futures. We didn't have a single trade during trade room hours. It was that slow going into FOMC. Ethan's still trading. Now there's plenty of opportunities there. So why don't you break down what these scanners are on the left, and if you want to even annotate on the screen, you should be able to break down kind of what you're seeing and break down this trade for us if you don't mind.
Yeah, no problem, Jim. So first things first, you did mention that stocks trade room is the best kept secret that only the few are understanding and realizing. And it's almost like the same thing goes with my fiance. I don't think she realizes she's with the best kept secret, right? So that's something that we need to make sure that she understands as well. So all jokes aside, let's take a look on the left-hand side here. So we use two primary scanners. We use Trade Ideas and TC2000 for our scanners. We'll look at GAPP scanners, strong movers, and ultimately we'll look at sector scans, depending on opportunities at hand. So if you take a look on the left-hand side here, we got our Trade Ideas scanner. There's a number of stocks hitting the scanner: MSGM, LASE, PRFX. And what I'm looking to do is I'm looking for strong stocks that are trading with at least 500,000 shares of volume traded today. I'm looking for stocks that are trading at least over $1.50. I won't touch anything below $1.50 in price. And I want to see what's gapping. I want to see what's really moving, right? Just below that small cap scan, we got our high of day momentum scanner. Now this scanner here will start populating stocks once markets open. So this is like watching the rear view mirror when you're driving. Every once in a while, you got to take a look at this rear view mirror because you're going to have new stocks hitting the scanner. And what happens is once we see the stocks hitting the scanner, I'll use the chart on the bottom center of the screen. And the first thing I want to look at is, are we in an uptrend? That's the first thing I want to know. Are we trading above volume weighted average price? Are we trading above the 9 exponential moving average and the 20? That's all we've got on our charts. We don't have any fancy indicators. We've got three moving average. Volume weighted average price, the purple line. The black is the 9 exponential moving average, and the red is a 20. Almost every single platform, whether it's free or paid, has these averages, has volume weighted average price, or it has some type of exponential or simple moving average. Okay. So I want to know, is the stock in an uptrend? That's number one. If I see a stock in an uptrend, then I'm going to pay attention to it. I want to see why. Why is the stock in an uptrend? Is it someone who's sitting in their basement on Reddit posting about some baloney pump and dump? No, I want to know if there relevant news. That's why I use our news scan on the left-hand side, which will let me know what is the fundamental catalyst that's pushing up this stock today. Is there revenue? Is there an earnings report? Is there a merger, an acquisition, a patent approval, a share buyback? This is going to give me the confluence and that confirmation to know there's a reason why the stock is pushing higher today. Okay, there's a reason why it's hitting the scans today. There's a reason why the markets are tanking, but all of a sudden MSGM is hitting the scanner and it's up 30, 40% in one day, right? So there's a simple rule and strategy that we put together, and that I go through every single day in the trade room over and over and over again, that it just becomes ingrained in your head, and it becomes unconscious competence to how you trade and what you look for the stocks, because just because they hit your scanner doesn't mean they're stocks you want to be trading, right? The parameters that we have built on trade ideas are meet certain criteria based on price, percentage change, the GAPP percentage, the float shares, and percentage of relative volume and volume traded today. So there is a lot that we look at. I'm not going to get into too many specifics about it, but we do keep it simple, okay? We want to make sure that anyone can come in here, learn how to use the strategy. It's very simple. If I can do it, you can do it. It's been very, very successful. We've been running it for over a year and a half. Nothing has changed, and we're doing pretty incredible stuff. Pretty incredible stuff.
Yeah. Very good. Nice. Yeah. So he kind of broke down the side, how do they find their trades? There's, 8,000 different stocks you can choose from, whereas in futures, we're trading 4 instruments. They got 8,000. So they're lucky in that regard. So there's always a stock that's going up and to the right. And so in this case, we've got LASE, where you can see there's a rally in the market to kick things off, right? And then you've got some capitulation. What is this? Well, this is going to be some profit taking. This profit taking is going to exchange that to new buyers wishing to enter this market. And what happens is, there's an explosion of buying that comes in on the other side of that market, right? There's some heavy buying that take over from the positions of the previous buyers that were in the market. This causes what we have here, an imbalance into a balanced market where supply and demand are balanced. There's buyers, there's sellers. Eventually what happens is one side is going to run out of either buyers or sellers. And when that happens, in this case, they ran out of supply. The sellers were no longer willing to sell at that price, so the buyers had to rally to find new sellers. Okay, so prices going up as an explosion from that area. And what we do from a trading perspective is we find these balanced markets. And when the market is primed to break to the buy side, then we take the trade. So this is traded as a breakout trade coming out of that balanced market. So we can see right here, there's the came back down a little bit, but eventually followed suit. And really we've been trading this way for a very, very long time. And so it is proven, time tested and all that. The beauty of this is it's not just one trade on the market. There's a trade here, and then the same thing repeated where there was a rally in the market stalled out moment, but then there's a break. And that created another opportunity to get in. and take another trade on that mark. So this particular market took 2 winning trades on just that one market. And this is over the course of, just to kind of break down the amount of time. And let me know if you guys are hearing me. I'm getting little nasty messages from my internet. If you can't hear me, let me know and I can kind of recap. But
Oh, you're good, Jim.
you're good? Okay, cool. All right. So there's a trade here. There's a trade here. Now, bear in mind, this is from after 10 o'clock to, call it 10:40, 10:45.
Yeah.
So this is from 10:15 to 10:45, let's say. So in 30 minutes, they got 2 winning trades in the books. 30 minutes. So here's the beauty of this. And another reason why I wanted to have Ethan come in is because, think of it this way. Your active hours are really 8:30 to, call it 10 a.m., right? Those are probably your
Right.
most active times. Yeah.
100%.
So on the future side, our most active time is from 10 a.m. to 11:30. Interesting, isn't it? Now, from the futures room, we open at right around 9 and go to 11:30. That first hour, we're kind of setting up, we're getting situated. Now, we had a pre-market trade today. It was great on crude, pre-market as far as before the equities open, but there's some days we don't catch any trades until after 10 o'clock. So here's the thing. When you access the program, you access everything. So you don't have to choose just stocks, just futures. Now, when you're first starting out, you might start with one and then eventually look to expand from there. But the point is, you have two winning trade rooms with an opportunity to go into both. Here's another beauty and advantage to the stocks trade room. These scanners that you see, these are on Ethan's screen. So do you need to have them exactly the same on your screen? Well, not if you're in the trade room trading with Ethan, you don't, because they're already on his screen. So why do you need to take up screen real estate on your screen? You don't have to have the scanners. He's already got them. The only time you need them is when he's not trading with you. So that's one huge advantage. You don't have to run right out and get the scanners. He's breaking down the trades where they're coming in. He's finding all the trades on the scanners. He's showing you which ones to take and then finding winning trades. And so it's just a great opportunity. So for those of you who have maybe traded futures, you've traded Forex, I really would encourage you to consider going into the stocks room early in the session, grab a couple trades, and then come on over and hang out in the future side. And even your stocks traders, after the room is kind of dying down, if you want to come over and trade futures and Forex with us, you certainly can. Mostly what we trade is futures, obviously, but we do trade some Forex as well. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, which is there funding for stocks traders, right? A lot of the reason that many traders are trading in the future side is because there's funding opportunities, right? Can we all agree on that? You give me a yes in the chat box if you would like to get funded for stocks, right? If you've got 25,000 in your account, you can day trade stocks. Well, a lot of traders are not really in that position, or if they are, they're not willing to risk that capital. It's not risk capital. It might be investment capital, right? So what about getting funded with a prop firm, right? You have that opportunity now. This is something that did not exist, even 2 years ago, Ethan, right? It's been
That's right.
within the past couple of years. Now you are funded with Trade Funder and trading with them, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
Right.
Yeah. Now, so talk to me a little bit about this. How's that been in terms of the funding process? And it looks like some of the things might have changed since you got on board, but how's it been trading for the prop firm? Give us a little insight on that, if you don't mind.
I would love to. I don't want to get into too much specifics about it, just because of once you pass your performance account, you then meet with the actual executives and the onboarding team, and they kind of put together a plan for you that tailors to your trading style. So everyone is different. But in terms of setting up the actual performance accounts and doing the pre-evaluation, it's pretty straightforward. It's pretty simple. All you got to do is Trade Funder is one of the prop firms that we associate, that we work with. Can I talk about the next what we're doing, Jim, or I have to Is that, or we're not there yet where I can talk about, where we're going with?
with prop.
Yeah.
It's in process.
Yeah.
We can talk about it, sure. So we're working on building up our own prop funding arm as well. So that's been in process. We've gone through compliance with legal and regulators, and there's a lot happening behind the scenes that we don't really show or talk about, but it is coming. So I think aside from that, we'll just kind of leave it at that.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously, it's
Okay.
going to be awesome because everything we do is awesome. At least, obviously, there's a huge endeavor for that. So, yeah, no, it's going to be great. But as
So
far
if you
as
take, yeah, if you
yeah, go
take a
ahead.
look here at Trade Funder, right? If you go on the website, Trade Funder, F, TradefundRR.com, there's different accounts you can sign up for, whether or not you want to do a 50%, 70%, 90%. There's the link in the chat box right now. So if you want to do a 50%, it's $199 per month. So your qualifying profit target's gonna be $15,000. You have a max drawdown of $3,000 for qualifying and funding and funded trading. You have a daily loss limit of $1,000. That's also for qualifying and for funded trading. Max buying power per position is 100% and consistency. So you have to trade for at least 9 days, right? There are different payout levels, profit targets that you got to hit based on for profit shares. Once you do pass the evaluation and the performance test, you get to keep your profits. So
Mhm.
my profit was, a little over $11,000 after I passed my performance account. And after I passed my performance account, my account was locked. I went onto the website, Trade Funder. I logged into my account and it said, tell us where you want us to send you your 11,000 and change. And I filled out a quick form, and all of a sudden, a week or two later, little actually over 2 weeks, I got a wire transfer for the amount that I was after my above my target. So I was pretty excited about that. They are very, very good. They're partnered with T3 Global in New York. So these are the real players here. And they actually also provide options. If you're an options trader, they provide options funding as well if you're an options trader. So pretty good stuff. They got account sizes of 100,000, quarter million, half a million. And again, once you pass, they want to see that you're taking profits. That's really and essentially what these prop firms look for. They want to see that you're getting into the market, you're getting out of the market quickly, efficiently, and you're not putting your capital at risk. There are traders, many of us, I used to be one of them back in the day, who have the psychology and the mentality that they just want to swing for the fences and make their $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a day and hang on to that one trade and just swing for the fences. Prop firms do not like that. Even if you pass your evaluations, even if you pass your performance accounts, they will provide you with a lecture that is not how they want you to be trading. And in some cases, they'll actually decline to provide funding if they notice, you're up to something that's not, because listen, they're putting their hard-earned money behind your trades, and if you're just kind of swinging for the fences and then blowing up an account and then purchasing another eval and you're on your 30th, 40th evaluation, they see everything, right? So
Mhm.
so the whole point is to get in and get out. And sometimes in the stock trade room, people ask me, why are you only taking a 0.5 risk reward target? Why aren't you swinging for 1-to-1, 2-to-1, 3-to-1? It's not about that. It's not about that because they operate based on your high water mark, depending on what your account size gets to at any particular time. It's intraday. So you need to be aware of that, what your high water mark is.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's great. And the whole, to kind of sum it up, the fact is there's a few major important is in futures, it's not always real money that you're trading. In stocks, they're regulated by the SEC. They have to be regulated by the SEC. And you're trading real money. This is not sim. This is real money. It's a real prop firm based out of New York. They're really funding you and you're really making money. And so if Ethan can do it, so can you, because he's still taking these same trades. If you take these trades with him, he's trading with the same companies, the whole thing. So there's a lot of opportunity there. So I just wanted to kind of share a little bit about what Ethan's doing over on the stock side. He's doing a great job, and good to have him as part of this. Do you guys have any questions for Ethan specifically? And then we'll switch gears into the future side. And Ethan, if there's anything you want to add, certainly by all means, go for it. But while we're at it here, if anybody has any questions for Ethan, go ahead and chime in. And I know he'd love to have you in the trade room with him as well. So in order to qualify, do you need cash? No. You have to pay the eval fees, but aside from that, no, you don't have to have capital. No, they provide the capital. Yeah. What else? Anybody have any questions? Ethan, do you have anything you need to add? So there's a question coming in about day trading options. You want to touch on that one?
What was the question?
The question was, is there any plan to day trade options?
Yeah, so we're actually in talks with we have Jim Schmelzer is one of our staff members. He's on he actually runs a family office. We're actually discussing on bringing in Jim in to doing a regular options trade room, whether it's once every biweekly or once a month. We're in the middle of talking about that at the moment, but until then, hang tight because there are a lot of stock traders who actually prefer trading options and vice versa. So we're going to see there. Nothing yet, but it's in the pipeline.
Yeah, cool. Clark's asking about account fees. That'd be more specific for a trade funder to answer, but I guess you can chime in on that if you'd like.
No, exactly. That would be more specific to trade funder because once you're a funded trader, that's your opportunity to negotiate, Clark. And I highly recommend that you do negotiate when they provide you with the offer.
Yeah, sounds good. What does it cost to be a mentor to work with NS? We're going to cover that toward the end, Abel, and we'll get in touch with our team so we can discuss the costs of getting involved and being a part of what we're doing and all that. So do they give you margin in accord with your percent buying power, and there's no additional margin or leverage beyond that? Is that right, Ethan, on stocks?
Yeah.
Yeah. You just get 100% buying power. Yeah. And are you done trading for the day? Yeah, we usually pretty early.
Yeah.
Yeah, in and out, right? It's all about take the money and run. You got paid, go do something else. That's why we trade, right? Because we don't want to work all day. Why should you? You don't have to. I'm the one that works all day. Ethan works half a day.
Yeah, very funny.
So,
Anyone has any other questions? Pete is great. Pete will be able to assist you. I'm sure he'll be sending emails out afterwards. So you're in great hands with Pete. He's got a lot of experience in the markets. He's been with us for a little bit now, and you're in great hands with Pete and obviously with Jim as well. You know what? I don't really have anything else to say, really, because until you come into the stock trade room, there's no sense. The numbers speak for themselves. Disregard today and yesterday in May at 42%, but the numbers do speak for themselves, and you're just going to have to show up and see what's going on, and you make that decision on your own. We're not here to sell anything anymore. That's enough.
Yep. And here's the deal, guys. At the end, if you stick around, I'm going to give you a guest pass, and you can go in and you can trade with us. And that's it. There's no hidden agendas there. There's no like, well, you get it for 3 days, and then at that point, you got to jump through this fire flaming hoop. And then after that, you can, you got to spin on your head. Now there's no run around. It's just join us, come into the room, check it out. And when you're ready to join, you're going to want to join because what we have here is really special. So on that note, I will let Ethan go about his day, and thanks so much for hanging out. You're welcome to hang out with us, obviously. And, but you guys can reach him. It's just Ethan at NeuroStreet.com. So if you have specific questions for him, I know he'd love to hear from you. So awesome. Everybody say thanks to Ethan and round of applause, and keep crushing the markets, amigo.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks. Have a great day.
Yep. And oh, by the way, we have the same birthday. So if you guys want to give us gifts, then we're all for that. It's coming up in August here. So just let us know. So, all right, Ethan, thanks so much. Appreciate it, man.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, cheers. Okay, so let's shift gears and let's take a look at what we're doing in the world of futures. Now, with stocks, it's more because there's 8,000 different stocks. So really, it's like there's one strategy, there's one setup, and then you trade it on different instruments based on what's setting up for that market. Now, on the future side, let me disconnect from data actually, because I want to try to save as much bandwidth as I can. Okay. Now, on the future side, it's a little different, right? We only have a handful of instruments that we're going to trade, and we have numerous strategies that we trade, right? So in stocks, it was like, okay, you've got 1 to 2 strategies. It's really one that's kind of, broken down into 2 different things on 8,000 different stocks, right? On futures, we've got maybe 3 to 4 strategies that we can trade, but it's on 3 to 4 instruments, right? So you can already tell, like, now not every stock is going up, and so there's only the certain ones that'll qualify, but there's tons of opportunities in trading stocks. There's tons of opportunity in futures too, but it's just a different approach. Stocks is going to be more fundamental, right? It's all based on the news, based on what's hitting, what's causing the stock to move is why you're trading it. With futures, it's more about liquidity. Where are the orders coming in? Where are the orders likely to come in? And it's all based on liquidity to position your entries and to trade the right setups at the right time. So in leading with performance, as it's very important to do so, we always like to do that. Ethan left, but don't tell him I got 100% win rate for May so far. It's been 2 days. There's nothing to get excited about here yet. Although we did trade on some other things that didn't hit. That's on sim that we're testing, but that's another story. I don't want to get into technicalities, but you get it. What about the future side? So in futures, different approach there again as well. The trades that I take are 1-to-1 risk reward. Why do I do it that way? Well, that's what works for me. Do you have to do it that way? No, of course not. You can do 0.5s. You can do more than that on some of the trades. Not all the trades are going to give you more than a 1-to-1, but there's certainly opportunity there. But all of these trades are 1-to-1 risk reward. So when you look at a blended win rate of 69%, call it almost 70, 69% at 1-to-1, can you make money? Well, yes, absolutely you can. How much money? Well, let's put it this way. If you were able to maintain a 66% win rate, okay, and your trades were 1-to-1, that means you're going to have a 2.0 profit factor, which is very, very solid. It's very solid. If you can maintain a 75% win rate, which is always our goal, and you'll be at 1-to-1 again, then you would have a 3-point profit factor. So what does that actually mean? Think of it this way. For every dollar you risk, at a 2-point profit factor, you make $2. At a 3-point profit factor, you make dollars for every dollar risked. So that's a better way to put it. So think of it like if you were in a business and you're looking at cash flow, right? You're looking at on your expenses, on your overhead, how much revenue can you bring in, and is there a profit factor? If your expenses are 100K a month and your revenue is 130, then you have a profit factor of 1.3. So to consider that, which by the way, 1.35 to 2 is great. If you're at 2.0 to 3.0 in trading, you're killing it. You're doing great, doing really well. So that just kind of gives you some insight there. But these are the real trades that we've taken. Most of what we're taking right now are these 2. And if you compare the win rates to some of the others, you can see why we trade these ones mostly right now. These win rates have stayed pretty consistent and steady on these trades with a little bit there, but nothing major, nothing that we couldn't find our way out of and keep the good win rates. So So we look at, over 75% win rates. Well, now we're talking. So just a ton of opportunity with those. These are some of the other trades that we have taken, different strategies. Sometimes things evolve with several priorities in mind. So we have priority number one is the trade obviously has to work well. Two is it has to work for our trader. In words, they need to be able to copy the trade. Okay, they need to be able to copy it because nobody wants to sit around and watch us trade all day and go, wow, you did really great. I couldn't take a single trade. That was a waste of time. Nobody wants that. The third is we need to be able to teach it. Our traders need to be able to learn the setups easily enough. None of our traders that I know of came in and said, I'm perfectly fine with you just handing me a trade a day and I'll take what I get. That's fine. No, traders want to learn how to do it. They don't want to just, it's like the fish, right? Give a man a fish, teach a man to fish. Well, we're not here to just cast lines. We're here to help you learn how to be able to do this on your own as well. For a couple reasons. One, so that you don't always need us to do it with you. And two, that you get conviction in what you're doing. You understand the why behind why are we taking these trades? Why do they work? Why does some trades not work even? To be able to look back and go, oh, this trade didn't work because of X, Y, and Z. So it's very important. Those are the priorities in terms of developing these strategies. We get questions about the strategies, order flow or algos or different concepts that require indicators and all of that. We really try to keep things as lean as possible from a charting perspective because we don't want our traders to go out and have to buy this thing and buy that thing and buy this thing and learn a whole different setup and all based on indicators. We want you to understand, why does the market move? Why does the market respond in such a way? And how do you trade it to your advantage? So, so it's important that you learn this stuff as well, which is why the program exists. Okay. So these are the trades. So how do you know that these trades are real? Okay. So you've got a bunch of wins in here, and we've been on a good run here lately, 11 out of 14. That's great. And by the way, we had a slow week, so I don't want to get too excited. But if you notice this week, there's nothing in the loss column. Gotta love that. All right, so let's go into the trades. So not only do we track the numbers, we track the physical trades. You can see every trade image we've ever taken in this list is in here. So if you want to go, well, I want to see this trade and I want to see the fills, great. You should want to see the fills so that you know that this is real, that we're actually doing it. Okay, so here's all the trades. There's 3 trades we took today. We took a CWAP trade, which we're going to show you these trades. We're going to break them down for you. There's a CWAP trade there. We took that one. This one came in just prior to market open on the equities. Then we had a here. There's the fill, target hit. Okay, there's second trade. And then here's another VWAP trade on M2K, which came in. Equities were very correlated today. We had a nice run, didn't quite make it because it got caught up in the wicks down here. And then we took a break even on that because we already scaled 2 trades. Why sit there and hold on to more risk, right? So we got out of that trade. So we took 2 wins and a break even today. That was our day today. And so we'll break these down and show these to you. But just to show, this is real performance. And I don't go into dollars and cents and all of that, but I do like to break down what you're actually getting in terms of risk reward and all that, so you can have some ideas. I can tell you I do track all of that on my end, and yes, it is profitable. Okay, so now obviously we don't make guarantees on anything, but there you go. So that's an idea on the futures. We're going to go into how we trade this system, but I see Sean has taken time to come in and join us, so I'm going to just kind of segment into that. If Sean wants to jump in and say anything or greet the crowd here, and this is probably a good time. Yeah.
Traders.
Hey, Sean, what's going on?
Hey, Jim. Hey, Pete. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah. Sounds good.
Type of Y in the chat box. You guys can hear me okay, and you guys got a good audio there. Okay. Do you guys mind if I ask you a couple questions? You guys good with questions? Ask away. Perfect. Can you guys do me a favor and just type, like, if you had a genie right now, I'm not going to hear bullshit you with fluff. I'm just going to get right into it. If you had a genie and you had 3 magic wishes, what would it be when it came to trading? Like, what is it you actually truly want more than anything in this business right now with where you're at? Some of you, it's trade setups. Some of you, it's learn how to manage my money. Some of you just are just show me how to do this. I'm starting, like, what is it? Like, you guys came here. You guys probably go to a webinar after a webinar after a webinar after a webinar. Like, am I wrong for that? Give me a yes if I'm right. How many webinars do you guys attend a week or a month? Right? Consistency, Daryl, consistency and profitability. Give me some feedback, guys. Like, I need feedback. Okay, I can't be of service if I don't know where you're at, right? Consistency. You need to get funded. You just want to learn more, understanding, need more trade setups, consistency. Make money, master your psychology. Knowing what instrument to trade and when. Great question. I can tell you how to do that with correlation. Easy, hands down. Correlation is the #1 reason for that. Trade the strength, short the weakness. We'll get into that in a second. You want to figure this process the hell out, Scott says. Well, that means you've either been doing stuff wrong or you're just getting tired of being tired. You want consistency, low correlation on portfolio. What is VWAP, Ben? So to some of its basic knowledge, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. Can I ask another question? This is more of an AMA, Jim. This is, you're not doing a PowerPoint right now, or
Yeah.
this is more, okay. So do you guys
Exactly.
mind if I get real with you guys? Can I get super real with you? This ain't no sales pitch. I'm going to talk to you like traders. A little bit of a backstory on me. I know a little bit about trading, right? What qualifies me? I mean, I only manage hedge funds, trading 60 sub accounts, right? On Collective 2 as a fund trader, millions under management. I've built over 100 applications on 5 global platforms. I build algos for a living, right? So I'm going to come at you. Can I talk to you from a professional's experience, not from an owner of a business? Are you guys okay with that? Yeah. Okay. Can I share a little bit about my journey so that you can know what made me change as a trader, which made me consistent? Really good, actually, which gave me the confidence to want to raise hundreds of millions of dollars and manage a fund here in the future once we have our platform live. Straight up, I'm going to tell you a few things. The market is not about risk and reward ratios. The market is not about just your stats. The market's not about an indicator or an algo. The market is 100% random, which means there is never going to be another day in the history of time when the financial markets will ever be the same every single day. So imagine that, okay? You get up every single day, you get up, you show up, and every single day your office changes. Like, imagine that for a second. If you ran a business in the industry of cooking and you went in and your kitchen was different every single day, you'd be fucked up all over the place. You wouldn't know where's my tools, right? Like, as a trader, we buy indicators. Hell, I bought a whack load of software and I even build a lot of that. Like, I'm a vendor. I also buy all my competitors' products to see what they do and how they do it. I love buying things. I love learning. I'm a master learner because I always believe that there's something better to advance in as a trader. Okay. So when you think about your business as a trader and you know that your market, every single day, the market's different. How do you approach the market then if you know every single day is different? How can anyone ever expect to get what you guys are all asking about, consistency? Okay. And I'm going to tell you a little bit. Being in the market is your worst enemy. Time in the market is the enemy. Okay. So if you know that, because the longer you're in the market, the longer you can be proven wrong. Do you know why the institutions run servers and focus more on latency? Market makers do all this stuff. They don't sit there and worry about what the market's going to do today as a trend or as a range. I'm going to share my screen. Can I share my screen and show you this visually? I'm going to share you a story, and I'm going to put a picture to what I'm sharing with you. I can't share my screen here. I'm going to wait for permissions. And I'm going to share a story. I'm going to look at the S&P here real quickly. I need permissions for sharing, Jim. Did I lose him? Pete, can you hear me? One second here. Jim must have lost internet.
I'm back.
I need permissions to share my screen.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Sorry about that.
No worries. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to share my screen here for a second, okay? And I'm going to paint a picture. Can you guys see this?
Yeah, looks good.
Okay, so I'm going to paint a picture here. Okay. I'm going to add some days to the chart. Okay. So I'm going to tell you what's really going on. Now, am I special? No, I just know what's going on because I've seen it. I understand it. And I'm going to share with you a couple things. And I need you guys to put in some answers here to kind of validate what I'm about to share with you. Right there. The market stopped. Right? Okay. It went all the way this way. The market stopped. Right? It went all the way back this way. The market stopped. Why did it do that? Like, tell me why. Was it because of volume profile? Was it because of order flow? Was it because of support and resistance? Or like, why was it? You tell me. Supply and demand, bigger players, order flow. Well, more profits either way, supply and demand. Okay. So, but these are all things that you've been told over the years by a bunch of self-proclaimed gurus, like, that just want to tell you a bunch of stuff to buy things. What if I told you that there's a different level to this game? It's called fundamentals that nobody in here ever pays attention to. It's because it's not our job to. A trader's job is not to see that. A trader's job is not to know where the options are hedging the liquidity pools in the options markets. The institutions are forecasting. I'm here to tell you that this move was forecasted by options market makers 5 days in advance. You're just like, what? How the hell does that matter to futures day trader? Exactly. It matters everything to futures day trading. It matters everything in Forex, in crypto. Everything on the retail level is not what you see. It is basically based on fundamental data that banks and big money players are moving money around because they need to balance their portfolios, balance their books, buy and hedge commodity assets, buy and hedge cash assets. Like, this is the game of Wall Street, not the game of trading. Trading is a byproduct of Wall Street. So when you start to think a little differently, you say, well, okay, Sean, that's great in theory, but how the fuck do I just trade and make my money today? Exactly. When you stop trying to worry about the daily trend, when you stop trying to worry about being right about support and resistance, when you stop worrying about, well, maybe it's going to go to this low volume node or that high volume node or this momentum, when you start removing all of those self biases that are taught from the retail level, and you get right into the nitty gritty, because in reality, as a day trader, you need to think micro analysis, because your time in the market is the biggest risk to you. As a day trader, you guys aren't trading with large stops and managing big books of business. You don't have the stomach to average into positions if you're wrong on a level and maybe it didn't short here and I'm going to keep shorting until it gives me like, this is institutional ways of thinking. As a retail day trader, you need to think in little bite-sized objectives, little teeny objectives, because you must remember that the longer you're in the market and it can prove you wrong, the less time you can be in a winning trade, and ultimately you can lose everything that you gain in a day because you either A, overtrade, or B, you trade too many setups, et cetera, et cetera. Now, one of the reasons why Jim is consistent, one of the reasons why Ethan is consistent is because they only trade for bites. They're not looking to swing for the 2, 3, 4R multiples. Yes, you can make money with a 40% win rate, right? If you're 2 to 1 or better. How many freaking days in a row do you think that you can capture 2 to 1 trades on every single one of your trades? Like, let me ask you this. A profitable business equals a consistent business. If you have a restaurant Monday to Friday, and you have people eating in your restaurant Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you have a consistent flow of customers. That's a consistent business. If you have a restaurant and you have Monday to Friday and only Fridays you're making money, well, then you have a lopsided business. You have a skewed distribution to the day of week in which your business is profitable. If you become a day trader and you trade Monday to Friday, what do you need as a trader? Do you need to make money on a Monday and hopefully make money on a Wednesday and maybe break even on a third? No, you need to figure out a way to be consistent Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, all the way through as best as freaking possible. And if you're trying to do 2 to 1s or 3 to 1s, or you're trying to capture the trend every day, or trying to always be a range bound trader, you're always adapting to the change. And that's what's killing everybody. This is the difference between really, really good traders who understand exposure to risk in the market versus getting what they want out of the market every single day in short little bites. And your job as a day trader is not to be right about direction, right about levels. Your job as a day trader is to catch reactions. Reactions. That's it. I use an analogy, and I think it's very, very wise to use this analogy. Have you guys heard of the laws of the universe? Have you heard of the law of gravity before? Tip a yes if you've heard of these laws. The law of lift. How do you think an airplane lifts off the tarmac? The speed in which the plane moves, and then the angle in which they change their flaps on the wing will give them vibrational pull on the wing, which will force the plane in the air because the speed is greater than the lift, and it comes the law of lift. It's the laws of the universe. There's the law of vibration, which everything moves at a frequency. There's a law of gravity, right? So let me explain a law in terms of financial markets. I want you to pretend you're this person. And I used this before, Jim, and I'm going to do this again because it's really important. Let's say this is the ground, right? We'll label this G. If you're holding a ball right here, okay, and if you drop this ball, okay, if you drop this ball, when it hits this ground right here, when it hits the ground, okay, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? If I drop a ball from 3 feet up into the air, it's going to bounce, Dean said. It's going to bounce. It's going to bounce. It's going to bounce up. Well, now Dino says bounce up. See, this is where I'm going to, Dino's going to say bouncing up. Okay, well, hold on a second. Now, this is great. This is exactly why I'm doing this. If I drop that ball, how do you know it's going to bounce up? That's the problem. You know that by definition, the ball is going to hit the ground because of the law of gravity. We know that the speed in which the ball drops is going to create the distance in which the ball reacts off the ground, but we do not know which direction the ball will bounce. The ball could bounce this way. The ball could bounce that way. The ball could bounce this way, right? And here's the problem. That's what you're trying to do in the market. You're trying to dictate, if this is the ground, is this going to be the one that drops it this way, that way, that way? Now, what if I was the person? There's the ground, there's the ball, okay? I'm going to show you a happy face because this is where it gets really fun. I'm going to drop this ball from here. The law of gravity knows that it's going to hit the ground. If I just start drawing radiuses here, okay, like this, there's probably a 90% chance of probability, 90p. I know I'm getting a little bit technical, but this is important. There's probably a 90% probability that the ball is going to stay contained within this area for guaranteed certainty that by almost every angle, I'm going to get a reaction off of this. Now what happens if I say, okay, well, what if I want to forecast, what if the ball goes out to this realm? You're dropping down to maybe a 60% chance of probability in which you're going to forecast the expected outcome of that movement of that ball based off gravity. You have no control. You have no control over the market, which means you have no control over what the market's going to do. Okay. Now, what if I want to go out to the third realm? Now you got a 30% chance. The more you try to forecast and predict and assume and expect things to happen in an environment that is guaranteed never to be the same every single day, you're basically saying you are greater than the laws of the universe. This is why quants are hired by all the big institutional firms, because they remove the human psyche from the equation and they look at the law of statistics, the law of probabilities, the law of freaking everything that we as humans don't do. Which is why I've spent so much time building systems and quants and study the data, because the more and more I do that, the more and more I prove that everything I thought I knew as a very experienced trader meant jack shit. So why am I sharing you this in a webinar today with an AMA? Because it all boils down to probabilities plus consistency equals goals achieved. You have a goal, and that's to be a good freaking trader making a lot of money. Am I wrong? Is that what everybody wants in here, to be a great trader? Give me a yes or no. You want to be a great trader and you want to make a lot of fucking money. I'm not here to pretend to be nice. I'm going to swear once in a while because that's just who I am. You know, take it or leave it, right? Like, right? So what if we had a way for us to increase your probabilities drastically? And by doing so, delivered strategies and setups that were consistent every single day. Would you have a better chance of P? Probabilities would go through the roof. Exactly. Now, we have strategies that we teach. Jim trades them, some of them. Jim doesn't even trade all of them, eh, Jim? You don't trade all the strategies we teach.
No,
You can't.
no, there's no way.
So I was asking a great question, higher the win rate. No. Let me give you an example of, let's take this for a second. Okay, I'm just going to use as an example. Let's just take this for a second. Let's just use this VWAP trade. Okay. Or here's a 2-bar play, 2-bar breakout. Down bar, push, up bar inducement. There's the short right here. This is one of the trades we teach. We have strategy cheat sheets on this. This is one of my favorite trades. So favorite that we built an automated system for it. But let's just talk about this for a second. If I know that I was looking to take a short right here, which is one of our trade setups, we'll get into the rules of the setup after, but this is a short right here. Jim teaches this in the class, and you know, we have strategy cheat sheets on this. If I was to take a short right here, my question is, What am I looking to obtain this way? Right? What is the goal of my business? Is it to try to assume the market's going to go 1 point, 4 points, 10 points? 1 point, 3 points, 4 points. What if every single day all I was trying to do is take a bite? And you got really good at taking a bite out of this trade setup. And then all of a sudden we got a VWAP trade here and I had an opportunity here and all I'm trying to do is take a bite. Okay. You wouldn't go hungry. You would continuously feed yourself, Rayo says. Exactly. Now the question is, okay, well, if I'm taking a trade here, and what if I want my target here? Okay. Well, if you are somebody that wants to trade for 2-to-1 risk reward ratios, great. If you know that your short is here and you know your target is here, then you could, by definition, put your stop loss here. And then you are within the confinements of a 2-to-1 risk reward trader. But what's cool about this is that you have very tight stops and you have very tight objectives, still following the rules of 2-to-1. A lot of people think, oh, I'm going to take a short off VWAP. I'm going to put my stop way over here. I'm going to go 2-to-1 way down there. How the fuck are you going to do that every single day? You are not going to do that every single day because the market's not going to give you that every single day. And they're not going to do that every single week. I can tell you that right now. But I can almost bet you 110% that if you hit that VWAP, almost all the time, you're going to get a reaction. There's going to be a few times you're going to get slapped. Okay, but that's why a stop loss is in place. But if you know you're going to get a stop once in a while, you can almost bank your business in very, very short objectives where your goal, when you wake up, say, okay, I'm going to go and I'm going to trade the market and I'm going to trade for a bite. I'm going to try to get 3 bites today. That's it. Your plate is full. Maybe you get 5 bites today, 5 little teeny bites. And you say, well, then aren't I scalping? No, what you're doing is you're going into a market that is completely erratic every single day and not trying to pretend you're God. Because everybody thinks that they're going to understand the indicators and the EMAs and the VWAPs and, oh my God, this is overbought. None of that means jack shit because all that's trying to do is put a bias onto you proving that you're right. People pay me a lot of money, and I mean a lot of money to coach them one-on-one. I have traders contact me and I charge them a lot of money for my time because I'm a very, very good trader and I break them and I get them to where they need to be. And I've been very successful taking very experienced people and turning them, even guys that have lost 13 years in a row and literally been up against divorce. And I've got them to becoming exceptionally profitable traders. Why? Because I rewired their brain into thinking everything that they knew was completely messed up. And it is. So NeuroStreet Academy is not just about trading rooms and indicators and performance trades. It's about giving you consistent trading plans that you can choose from. How many do we got, Jim? I think we got a few, yeah? We've got,
well, we've got at least a dozen cheat sheets.
Right. We've got a dozen cheat sheets. I would say out of those 12, 5 of those I could manage a fund with, and I would trust the strategies to be able to produce exceptional returns. The difference is traders won't learn them. They won't do the work. What if I gave you guys an opportunity to come into NeuroStreet right now? I authorized my sales team to give you guys a discount. I gave you a guarantee that you guys will be successful. If not, I think we have a guarantee, right, Jim? We have a money back guarantee or something like that. Like
money back guarantee.
You have no risk to you. The only thing you are expected to do is show up to the trading room, learn the setups, do your trading plan, show us your trades, meet on the coaching calls. Yes, we do one-on-one coaching as well. And if after all of that, you're not successful, we give you your money back. You say, well, that seems too good to be true. What's the catch? There is no catch. We're not here to muck around, guys. How many of you guys would be willing to do that? How many of you guys would be willing to come into an environment, okay, where we guaranteed you have no risk to you? I'll even come in and do some coaching calls with Jim. If you guys like my style a little bit, I'll go into my strategies. I'll go into some of that stuff. I have no problem coming in with Pete and Jim and doing a few extra coaching calls with you guys. I'd be more than happy to do this. Jim and I talked about me coming in today because sometimes you know, just different perspectives. I have a different perspective than some of the guys. I taught the educators.
Yeah.
So everybody has to learn from somebody, but I will come in and I will do this, but I need a commitment that everybody's going to come in and want to do that, because what I'll do is I'll put together some AMA training sessions. I mean, I'll give you an example. Ethan, you know, did you talk a little bit about Ethan and his trading log? Okay,
Yeah, he came
Ethan.
in.
Yeah, Ethan was here at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Ethan didn't even know how to trade. I took Ethan by the hand within 3 weeks, got him running a trading room, and he's trading better than 95% of all equity traders I've ever met in my entire life. He has stats that were unbelievable by some of the biggest firms in New York when he went and got a spot on their prop desk. Like we're talking 700 trades with a 70 to 80% hit rate live. Now, let me explain this. What did I do with him? The same thing I'm doing with you. I taught him how to not listen to everything else, shut it all off, and do exactly what I tell you. Would you be willing to do exactly what I tell you every single day and stop bouncing around? If that meant that you could make a business and be extremely successful and scale? And everything I do is completely designed for getting funded for prop firms. Why? Because I understand trailing drawdown. So I understand that you need to be in and out of the market quickly in order to get paid. Would you be willing to do that? Getting a lot of yeses. Okay. So let me ask you this. What's the barrier? What is the barrier that stops everybody? Price. Well, I'm not really sure I want to buy something right now. I'm not really sure I can commit right now. Then why are you here? That's the question. Why come to a webinar where you're looking for a mentor and you're looking for a coach, and they're willing to spend the time and the commitment and the resources to show you the path, break the narrative, if you're not willing to commit to yourself? Right? Good question, right? Because psychologically, we want to basically save money. We want to be conservative. We want to make sure we're making the right decision. I'm here to tell you there is no financial risk to you when you come into NeuroStreet. We have a money back guarantee. As long as you follow what we teach you and show you what we do, you do the necessary steps. And after all of that, you're not happy, guess what? Bye. No questions asked. You have no risk to you. This is a dream. When I was learning to trade, I wish I had that. I wish somebody came to me with that offer. Okay. Now, what I would like to do for everybody that's planning on joining with what we're going to do, we're going to set up an AMA circuit. Me and Jim are going to come in and we're going to break down the strategies one by one. I'm going to walk you through these strategies one by one, literally step by step by step. And I'm going to tell you how I would manage the risk. I'm going to show you where the entries are, where the stop loss should be, where the targets are. And we're going to talk about correlations so that you can look at the right markets, pick the right markets on the right days. There's reasons why you can trade correlated markets, right? There's a reason for it, right? And what's nice is that you have access to multiple trading rooms. You have a trade room for stocks and you have a trade room for futures. You don't even have to buy both. We decided to merge our school. We used to charge them differently. We used to sell them differently, independently. We merged them because what you're seeing right now is TickBlaze. I don't know if you know this, but the TickBlaze platform is getting ready to go live. We're integrating all of our trading rooms into the school, into the platform. And so I'm here to tell you right now that, like, if you want, you know, Pete, are you okay if I offer these guys a little bit of a coupon here if they get in touch with you?
Please do.
So how many of you guys would like a discount? I'm willing to authorize Pete a discount. He's going to meet with every one of you guys. We're going to get you set up on a book call. We're going to get you in. For those of you that are serious, Jim and I are going to rotate. We're going to do some AMAs with each and every one of you guys that are going to come in on strategy deep dives. And then I'm going to come and I'm going to run the room with Jim over the next couple of weeks. I'm going to come in periodically. I'm going to be showcasing trading on TickBlaze. We're going to go through the strategies, but I need a commitment that you guys are serious, because I really don't want to waste my time with a bunch of traders that don't want to make a lot of freaking money. I have guys that are willing to pay me 50 to 100 grand for 12 weeks of their time. Straight up. And I'm not here to bullshit you. That's why I don't run trading rooms anymore. I teach hedge funds traders how to trade. Are you guys good with that? Can we run a poll in here, Jim?
Yep. Let me find it here. Polls. There we go.
Can you do me a favor and answer either you're in or you're not? There's no in between. Absolutely, I'm joining now, or book the call. I want to know because I'm going to put something special together for everybody that's joining this and wants to participate in this. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put together some special AMAs where we're going to do deep dive hand holding exercises on trade strategies, where I'm going to do rapid fire markets, which means you're going to give me any market at any time on any time frame, and I'm going to show you the trade, why it's there, where it's there. We're going to just do this to the point where we ingrain it into your brain, where you can see it in your sleep. When you get to that level of comfort, I know you are going to crush it. Exactly. We got a lot of people answering, Jim. I can't see on the my side. I want to know where we're at on this.
We've got about 29% participation. So we
Guys,
need
do
some
me a
more
favor. You're
answers.
the yes or no. We're not going to go any further in the education until I know where you're at. If you're not, you're not. I'm cool with that. Just answer yes or no, right? Because I want to make sure that you guys are setting up to book calls with Pete, because I'm going to authorize a discount that we don't normally do. And I'm going to set up private training lessons for everybody that's in here today.
Yep, right about 43%. Thanks, guys.
Keep it coming, guys. Keep it coming. I want to know. There's a lot of people in here. I want to make sure I can get everybody's attention, and I want to know. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask right now for rapid fire. We're going to go through some markets right now. Okay. Jim, you're on the 5 minutes, yes?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, we got about 51% participation, so that's great. Keep them coming, guys.
Okay. So we're going to talk about these strategies here. Okay. 5 minute chart. People say, why the 5 minute chart? Because you're a day trader. Why not the 1 minute? Because you can't make sense of the shit. Can't make sense of the information. Like you can go into that, but you can do it. So your file, view, font, zoom in. Okay. So 5 minute chart. Why? Because you guys are all in a point where you're not making a whole lot of money right now. So until you get really, really good at making a lot of money, we're going to keep you on a time frame that you can have enough time to make decisions. You have enough time to see the market. You have enough time to get yourself acclimated to executing trades where you understand your position size, you understand how to place your orders. I don't care if you're a really knowledgeable trader. If you're still not making a lot of money, that doesn't equate to anything. Information does not equal results in trading. You need to be able to do it, which means it's a skill development business just as much as it's an information business. And therefore, a 5 minute chart is as big as you want to go as a day trader, as a scalper, right? Once you start getting into the 30-minute profile charts, all that's different. But like, it's not where you're not going to be in the market for bites if you're trying to trade profiles. If you're trying to do all that. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't trade profiles. A lot of money made on profiles, but majority of the people aren't making a lot of money trading profiles because they don't know how to manage themselves properly, holding for those big swings. Okay, so there's a couple setups. Number one is the CWAP or the VWAP. If you don't have a CWAP, you don't need a CWAP. If you're on a platform or if you're using something, a VWAP is just as fine. Okay, CWAP is a little bit more of an advantage because we have it coded. In tick plays, we will eventually have that. Okay, two, you're going to have the 2-bar break trade, which is really an inducement play. It's a fake out. It's a fake out. Number three, you're going to have the rally base rally or the drop based drop trade, which is a supply or demand pattern. Okay. 4. Now, here's the cool thing. People always say, well, what about buying algos? What about buying indicators? What about buying this? Yes, yeah, you can do all that. But let me ask you a question. If you took those products away from you, or for whatever reason you didn't like them, or for whatever reason you didn't get the results out of them, now you're back at where you were before. Your own demise. This is why NeuroStreet Academies always stood the test of time when it comes to products and programs and trade rooms, is because after everybody goes around the table buying stuff and going this way and going that way and buying this and buying that, guess what ends up happening? They come right full circle only to realize, freaking holy shit, I need to figure this stuff out. It's been 2 years. I've spent 20 grand on products and I still ain't where I want to be. So wouldn't it make sense for me to teach you how to go out and take 3, 4, 5 bites every single day, know that you can get paid, and then go muck around with all the indicators and the algos and have fun and try to figure that shit out after? Like, you guys are doing that mostly because you're passionate and you love to tinker and trading is exciting. You like to play with the tech and you get to the prop firms and all that. But you guys got to remember why you got here. You got here because you wanted to make a whackload of capital, make money, and live a better life. End of story. Trading can do that, but not the way that 95% of the people approach it. It's completely backwards, and most people don't get that. Am I missing a setup here, Jim?
Well, there's the CWAP, and then there's a separate one for VWAP that we tried, the VWAP touch and go.
Right. So I'm just going to cluster those together in a set.
Yep.
Isn't there another one? There was the 2-bar break, there's the RBR, and then there's the SMC order blocks, yeah?
Right, order blocks.
Right, which is multi-time frame structure. So my job as a master instructor is to teach instructors how to do very well as a trader. Then once my instructors are very, very good, then I can take the training wheels off and let them teach a whole bunch of other people how to be great traders, right? I have a process for teaching people how to trade, because if I remove the whole subject, how many times have I had a conversation with you, Jim, about subjectivity?
I can't remember how many times.
Right. Subjectivity is like cancer. Nobody wants it, right? It's terrible, right? Now, I shouldn't use a cancer joke. I mean, I'm not going to go there, but you know what I'm trying to say, right? Like it's like the plague. The moment you think you know what's going on in the market is the moment you've already lost in that trade. Because if the market rewards you, you start thinking, wow, I was right. The market isn't about being right. The market is about getting a bite. When I mean a bite, I mean a reaction. If I have a resistance level, my job is not to fade the resistance. My job is to catch a bounce. Done. If I have a support level, my job is not to catch the low and catch the whole swing. My job is to catch a bounce. Done. If I have a trend and I have a VWAP, my job is to catch a bounce, not even trade the pullback, catch the reaction. When you change your mindset about what your job is, if I'm coming up here, boom, and I know I'm pulling a pullback, my job is to take this and to take that. I don't care if it hits the highs or it goes this way, goes that way. That's the whole reason you're not making a lot of money. And the whole reason for this is if I go like this, I pull back, there's a VWAP. I know with a very high degree of accuracy, with a 90% probability, I don't mean 90% win rate. I meant there's a like a 90% P or even greater, that if I just take a little bit out of this reaction, I have a very high degree of success of making consistent income if I do that every single day. And here's the reality. You don't need a big stop. If you're somebody that wants a 2-to-1, great. Then you have a stop here, you have a target there. Like, still catch a little reaction, but don't sit there and try to always go for the highs or always go for the push through the breakout. Like, that's the reason nobody makes any money long term, because today you might catch it. Wow, I caught it. Then tomorrow it does this. Like, fuck, what happened there? And this is my job. My job is to rewire this thinking, because I'm going to teach you the rules to these 4 trades. These order blocks are great if you're patient enough to set up the work. There's some hidden gems out there that people don't even know exist. And it's just if you know what to look for. I don't want to send you on a goose chase trying to figure out, well, how am I going to trade? We have 4 trading plans. This is 4 businesses. I look at each of these as an independent business. This one's a steakhouse. This one's a burger house. This one's whatever. Maybe this is a spa. Like, they're all businesses to me, the way I approach trading. And if I'm going to run a business, I need to understand every aspect of that business. Why would we use one versus the other? Why would one be good versus the other? Could we mix and mingle? Could you be the owner of all 4? Sure. Does that mean you're going to be running all 4 of them at the same time with your presence in them all day, every day? No. If I own 4 businesses, 4 restaurants on 4 different places around the city, am I physically able to be in all 4 at the same time? No. Does that mean I can't be their owner? No. It means I just need to know when I want to show up and do business there. Does this make sense? Give me a yes if this is kind of resonating, kind of striking a different chord with you. I need to know that this is kind of starting to really kind of change a little bit, maybe rubbing you a long way, challenging you guys a little bit, maybe getting some blood pumping. Good. That's the whole point. My promise to you, if you decide to invest in your education plus class plus coaching plus online edu plus, fuck, I don't know, what else do we give in there, Jim? Everything, plus everything we offer, okay? Yes, it's going to cost a little bit of money. I think, what is it at? Like $5,000 right now for like, it's like $5,000 for 2 programs, which normally were about $10,000 each. We merge them all together, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm going to authorize a discount, okay? I'm going to authorize a discount. I'll let Jim and Pete work that magic out there. I don't step into their kitchen to tell them how to cook. I just give them the permission to do it. Okay. I'm going to authorize a discount. Everyone in here has 5K. If you don't have 5K, what the hell are you doing in trading? You should not be here today. If you do not have $5,000 sitting around to invest in your business, you shouldn't be in business. Not trying to be rude, just calling it as it is. Now, here's the thing. Well, Sean, I don't know if I want to spend 5K. Like, I've only heard you talk once. I get that. I'm not here to waste your time. Time is precious to me. Money back guarantee. No questions asked. If after you follow the guidelines that we set forth in our policy on the program, if you think the guidelines are what, Jim? You need to show up to the trade room.
Yep. They're simple. Show up
to the trade room.
Do the work, ask for help. It's that simple.
Okay. Show up to the trade room. Learn the cheat sheets. Okay, hold on a sec here. This is so easy. You know, do the coaching. Send the trades in. I think it's send us your trade log. Send your trade plan and logs. Let me do this. We will review your trades. Let me just review your trades. This is where you can say, what the F? Nobody in the frickin' business does this. Nobody. I will give you 20 vendors right now that I know that are in this space, 20 of them. I know them all. And you ask them an email, hey, if I take 100 trades, will you sit down with me and review those trades? What do you think they're going to say? Bugger off. Here's another, buy some more software. I mean, that's their business. We actually will sit with Jim, will meet with you. Ethan will meet with you. I will meet with you. We will meet with you and we will go over your trades. If you show up to give it to us. Isn't that insane? Like, I dream of a mentor when I first started to do this. This doesn't even exist unless you're paying for like $25,000 one-on-one coaching program. That's crazy. And then if after that, if after all this, you still are not happy, email us and we will give you back your, because at that point you don't belong with us and we don't belong with you. So you know what? Our loss, not yours. That is the business model we put in place. And since then, Jim, we've seen much more successful traders because people come in and actually do the work because they know that, hey, I got to do this work because if I don't do this work, I can't get my money back if it doesn't work for me. We're basically incentivizing you to do your job.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, Jim, when you came to me, you just came to me recently about your goals for fitness. Yeah. You came to me and say, hey, you know what, Sean, I'm sitting down all day. Fuck, I'm trading. How many of you guys feel overweight and sluggish and tired? Right. And, you know, like you sit in front of the screens, you know, your circulation's not the best. You're not really getting the exercise, not getting the airflow, the blood flow, etc. Jim came and says, Sean, I want to lose some weight. I need you to hold me accountable. I said, I ain't fucking holding you accountable. He's like, it's not my job to sit there and motivate you. He's like, what do you mean? He's like, I'm going to incentivize you. If you really want me to motivate you, you're going to commit to every single day. And if you don't, I'm going to dock your pay 50%. I'm going to cut your salary in half. He says,
This is no
what?
joke, by the way. He
He
really
said,
did
I'll
this.
show you the contract.
I was like, oh,
We'll
what
show
did I
you the
get myself
contract.
into?
I said, if you're really going to do this, we're going to do this.
Yeah.
And what I've just done here is I've done the exact same thing with you. By giving you a money back guarantee, I've basically motivated you to get up, show up, do it. And guess what? You got no risk, because if you don't do it, you don't get your money back if you can't get through if you don't get it, right? If you don't do well and you don't do the work, well, now you know it's on you. Now you can't blame anybody. We know what we do really, really works. I know this for a fact. I've got guys turning big numbers in the prop business. They don't go into our discords. They don't sit around, fuck around in the trading room. They come in, they sit in, they learn what we do, they make their money, and they bounce. Why? Because they don't dabble around when the minions are. I don't mean to call anyone minions. I mean anyone that's sitting around blaming, pointing the finger, bitching, complaining. Those guys aren't meant for really good trading. They're meant to stay stuck. That's an unfortunate reality. It's the same way when I go into a gym. I see a guy going to the gym. He pays for a membership. He comes in. He trains so hard. And then as he leaves, I watch him walk across the street and buy a slushie with like 4 cups of sugar. Well, no wonder he's not getting any results, because the guy's sabotaging himself. And then he blames the coach and he blames, oh, it's the equipment. No, guys, like I'm here telling you, we have an exact path to success and you have no risk to you. But if I'm going to show up and walk you through a couple of weeks of deep dive training and then guarantee that we're going to basically meet with you to do all this, you need to put a little bit of skin in the game. We got people to pay. We got software to code. We got platforms to run. Like, it's a business to us too. How many of you guys want the help right now? That if we were going to do this, you're ready to do this? Give me a yes if you're ready to freaking change this year. We're in May. We are in May. That means by June, July, you could be a massively successful trader, either trading your accounts or scaling prop firms. If after 2 months it ain't working for you, then there's a problem and we can nail it. And the only way that you can get a discount is if you book right now with Pete, meet with Pete, and sign up this week. That's it. Because we're going to start these trainings next week. Jim and I are going to set some stuff in motion. I'm going to come in and help assist in the trading rooms. We're going to do some different things. We're going to unleash the Kraken, as they say. I'm excited. My blood's pumping because I love running trading rooms. I've been building software platforms for a year and a half and coaching really, really high net worth traders. And like, I love being in the trenches with traders because that's where the action is. Yeah, I love it. It's my passion. And I'm going to be using it on tick plays. Oh, you say, what's tick plays? We'll get into that this week. Right? And don't worry, everybody's going to get offers for that as well. Did you guys enjoy this? I know I come in here, I throw a little curveball once in a while, but, you know, Pete said, hey, Sean, we got to bring you in, man. We got Mayday. We got to wake these guys up.
That's great, Sean. I love what he's saying. And this is something that I had to learn in trading. And you've taught me a lot. Obviously, I've been trading with Sean. You know, he taught me years ago. We've been at it about 5 years ago. I think I came to Neuro Street and started trading with Neuro Street. And Sean taught me a lot. And then when I got into the seat as a trade room moderator, my gosh, holy smokes. You know, you talk about having a coach that can sit over your shoulder and tell you, you know, what are you thinking with this? You know, how do you got to change your mindset around this stuff. And Sean was really great in doing that with me. And so I get to help other traders now, and it's a win-win for everybody. But yeah, I really love how he says, you know, you don't have to know what the market's going to do. You don't have to know everything about, you know, you hear a lot about it. I want to follow institutional money. Well, you don't have the kind of money they do. So why would you want to follow what they do? Your job as a trader is to get paid every day. Your way to do that is to trade the reaction, not trade the whole move, right? So I really love that you went into that. That was good.
I've seen traders, and this is a true story. I've seen traders that truly just sucked. They just didn't have it. and they just lost so much money, and they had the best of intentions, and God forbid they spent so much time. And within such a short period of time, we were able to rewire their destiny through this. But let me tell you this, it's simple. Most people don't believe it's simple because of the struggles they've gone through. And for some reason, their brain has accepted that, fuck, like this is never going to happen for me. Subconsciously, it just becomes a rat race. Give me a market, any market right now. I'll do rapid fire for the next 5 minutes. I want to show you a couple of things. Just rapid fire. Yes. Well, okay, I'm on the yes. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to show you a couple of things. Where's the market open here? This is 6:30. Okay. Market open today. Off the open. And there's 8:30 my time. There's 9:30 right here. When the market broke down, there was trade number one. Drop base drop. Trade number one we teach. There was trade number two we teach. This is drop base drop. This is an inducement 2-bar break. That's true trades back to back right off the open. Someone says don't trade the open. Who told you don't trade the open? Well, you can't trade the open. People say don't trade the open. Who the fuck told you that? Trading the open is one of the best things you can ever do. Market volatility picks up, order flow comes in, you get very quick movements. You just need to know how to trade the open. What about news? People say, oh, don't trade around news. Why the hell not? For years, I used to believe that bullshit. Oh, you can't trade the news. Some of the most money is made in the fastest markets. Why? Because you're not sitting there waiting for the market to do something. The market moves. The only way you're going to make money is if the market goes up or down. And you're going to make money faster, the faster it goes up or the faster it goes down. You need volatility. The problem is people don't do it correctly. That's why we do it on a 5-minute chart. Let the market balance, right? There has to be a washout of the orders. When the market opens at 9:30, what's happening exactly on the opening bell is all of the resting orders that were in the inventory need to be filled to sweep. This is not day traders. This is market makers putting in the liquidity to be able to produce movement. They need to make a market. Most people don't even understand this. I don't want to get into this. This is some next level shit. We'll talk about it in the classrooms. But why would you sit in the crossfire in the first 5 minutes off that? Okay. As soon as the market opens on 5 minutes, done. You're gone. Like go, it's go time. Like it's the market. S&P is a stock index. It's designed as an asset to track 500 stocks. All those stocks are moving on the market open because equity traders only trade the morning. Like your best time to trade the S&P is in the first hour, period. Or if there's news, at the news time, right after, or right before sometimes, depending. There's 2 trades back to back, and then there was basically right there, VWAP bounce trade. There was 3 trades this morning that if I was running the trading room, I would have took all 3. Why? Because I don't know. I do not know. Great example, trading in the Zone. You guys ever read it? Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. Right? I'm sure you've heard of the book. It's a classic, right? In his book, one of the 7 principles says there is a random effect of not knowing when the next win will come. You just need to know that your trade setup has an edge. As long as you know your trade setup has an edge, your job is to take every trade, no matter what. Because if you don't believe in your setup, why would you take the trade? I believe in the trade setups we have. I've got years of statistics that prove these setups have an edge. Therefore, I will take every one of them. Why? Because that's my job to take those trades. It's not my job to question what the market's doing. It's not my job to question the trend. It's my job to enter, boom, take a target, done. Enter, boom, take a target, done. I don't care if it goes this way. I don't care if it goes that way and I get stopped out, or if it goes this way and catches the floor. I'm taking a bite. I'm taking a bite. I'm taking a bite. I don't care what the indicators are doing. I don't care about anything doing. I just care about the setup. And my job is to teach you how to think like this. And you know what? Every day is different. So guess what? Every day you're going to learn how to do things the same, meaning execute without fear, execute on reactive or proactive information, but ultimately make sure that you don't hesitate. If you're hesitating, there's a disconnect between your knowledge and your belief. And that can be fixed. Even you, Jim, sometimes like, why didn't you take that trade? Well, you know, I was thinking the market was doing this, and I was like, there's the fucking problem. You're thinking.
Yeah.
Thinking ain't getting you paid. Thinking's getting you confused.
Yep.
The whole reason we have a cheat sheet, Jim, is that you memorize the pattern. What do you think an algo does? An algo memorizes the rules to a pattern and executes without thinking.
Yep.
Algos make way more money than human traders. I can take 20 traders, put in the room, and I put 10 algo traders and 10 manual traders. The algo traders are going to smoke the retail traders because they don't get involved. Most times the algo doesn't have an edge. So therefore they're trading a bad algo, right? You need to have an edge in order for it to have good expectancy. Manual traders can trade an edge because some of the things we do manually cannot be coded in an automated system.
Yep.
That's an edge. That's an edge. You have an advantage as a manual trader over automated systems. Some of the things we do as manual traders cannot be automated. There's a fine line between which one is best. There is no right or wrong. It's a preference. So my little rant, hope you guys enjoyed it. A little bit of, this is not a webinar. This is in your face, let's fucking go kind of day. Let's do this. Like this will give you tomorrow and the weekend to get set up, get onboarded, and get ready for Monday's morning's trading room. How many of you guys, just do me a favor right now. And just do me a favor right now. Just type in the chat box if you're going to join us and you're going to join what Jim and I are going to do, and we're going to basically help you and we're going to work with you and we're going to coach you. You'll have one-on-one sessions with us. You'll have trading room with us. We're going to walk through the AMAs. We're going to do some private training. Just give me a yes if you're in it. I want to know if you're actually seriously going to do this. I want to know if you guys are going to move forward with this. And you're going to meet with Pete, and we're going to go through this. We're going to authorize the discounts. We're going to do all that. I need to know, okay, so that I can basically make sure that we work with you guys, right? Okay. I need to know this. Okay. So Dean, if I don't see you come into the room, I'm going to call you. I'm going to fly to your house. Steven, I've already sent guys to your door, brother. Just wait for the knock. Glenn, Cornelius, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Chris.
Yeah, we do take PayPal. Yes.
We do take PayPal. Here's the thing. For everybody that's coming in today and taking action, I'm going to do a private webinar with just you guys by yourselves. We're going to create a little private Discord or something. Me, you, Jim, and Pete, over and above everybody else that's in the trading room. If you're joining in today, we are going to do something very special for you guys, and we are going to do something only you guys get.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Mark my words, Jim. Only people that come in from this webinar today is going to get some special treatment.
Love it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's really great.
And Jim and I are going to put that on.
Yep.
And then we're going to bring Ethan in on as a sidecar over and above futures, and are going to get him to show you what he's doing on the equity markets over and above. Even if you're not interested in the equity trading side, we're going to give it to you for free. We're going to give you some extra value add. If you are interested in equity, well then, geez, I'll do it with Ethan too.
Yeah.
Pete, I want you to make note of every person's name in here. I want you to follow up, give them white glove service treatment, give them anything that they need to make sure their questions are answered, make sure they feel at home, make sure they don't have any questions about what's going on. Pete is your go-to guy, and Jim and I are your second fallbacks.
Yeah, so some of them I've already booked. Cornelius has already booked an appointment. I recognize some of the names in there, so I'll be getting a hold of everybody.
Great.
Awesome.
So can you do me a favor? Put your link in there. Put your link in the chat box right now. Do you have a link right now there, Pete?
Yeah, let me do that.
Do me a favor. Everybody book with Pete so he can get you onboarded today. Book the calendar. Do not wait till Monday. If for whatever reason Pete's calendar is booked, send him an email. He's going to call you. We're not going to wait for the Zooms. We're going to get you on and up and running. Why? Because we're going into Friday. Okay, that's only going to panelists. You need to post it to everybody, Pete.
Yep. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me fix that.
Yeah, you're going to repost it to everybody. The reason I want to do this is I want everybody coming into the room on Monday, and I want to set some training up for next week with Jim. So I need everybody to be onboarded and in it and be in it, because we're going to go through the members area. And what I want to do is I want to walk you through the cheat sheets. I want to get you guys prepared, because if we're going to do this, the first week is like, okay, this is a serious week for me, and I take it very serious. I want to make sure that everybody has everything they need to download, printed, what we're going to study, how we're going to do it. We're going to do rapid fire market selection. We're going to go over every market, and we're going to do this together. Make sense? I think we hit the nail on the head.
Yep.
Great training, guys. Excellent.
Very good. Yep, we'll get you into the trade
Yeah.
room. Absolutely.
Alan, yeah, if you're a member of our school, you have access to the futures trade room every day. Absolutely. All of the extra training, the coaching, everything, you got to be a member of the school to have access to that. Yeah, in order for us to come in and do all this and work with you, yeah, there's a little bit of a give and take here, brother. Yeah, but we'll authorize a discount. I've given Pete permission here to give you those coupons. Yeah. All right, guys. So listen, have a great day. And I'm going to follow up with each and every one of you through Jim and through Pete. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week, guys. Have a great day. Super pumped about this. This is exciting.
I got a couple things to wrap up with, if that's okay. I promised you guys coming in, I would give you a cheat sheet. And I'm a man of my word. So I'm going to paste this link in here. This is going to give you access to one of the cheat sheets for our winning trade. This is a 75% win rate on this strategy. So I want you to pull that up, get that ready, start going through it, and then we're going to cover that together.
Let's take a look at it.
Yeah.
You're pulling a mulligan on me, but this is great.
it.
So let me explain this. A picture's worth 1,000 words, right? So we have thesis, we have the indicator layout, we have the pre-trade setup, we have the rules, we have the trade management, we have a great picture. Your job is to breathe this picture. The problem is that you've seen this picture. And what happens is tomorrow, the picture might be 75% looking the same. And then the next day, it might be 98% the same. Wow, I seen it. It looks exactly like the picture. And then the next day, it's 45% the same. For some whatever reason, the market's just playing with you or whatever. But it's the same setup. And that's the problem. The problem is the setup is always there. The market looks different. And we're going to teach you how to get outside of that and just execute and understand how to do it. Right now, we're going to get into this. We're going to talk about it. And there's a couple trades. We're going to walk through this 4-step trading process. This is like the Bible. And we're going to talk about correlation. We're going to talk about trade setups and scanning. We're going to talk about trade management. A lot of people think they need to trade for 0.5 multiples. No, if you want to trade for 2-to-1s, I'll show you how to have tight stops. And I'll show you how to execute 2-to-1 setups every day. Now you have a higher risk of getting stopped out if your stops are tight, but you're 2-to-1 risk reward ratio. So you just need bigger targets, right? Not with us. Our targets are always short. And we're going to talk about that. All right, Jim. Good
stuff.
I love these cheat sheets. These are great. Yeah. So many traders benefit from the cheat sheets. Yeah, it's so much easier. Like everybody's like, well, build me a trading plan. They send you a 25-page document of a bunch of, well, I have a desk in my room and I have a flower on my corner windowsill and I have a 64 gig RAM computer. What the hell does that got to do with making money? You know, some of these trading plans are so flippity floppity. Like, let's get into the meat, make some money.
Yeah. Exactly. We have a trader, Sean, that chimed in, sent me a letter too. He said he failed 130 PAs, not evals, PAs before he found us. And he's booked 30 grand and booked profits paid to him this year already from his performance in trading with GAPP. And he said it's a direct relation to trading with GAPP. And these are the success stories that we get. And it's awesome to see. It's really, really cool.
This can be you guys if you want it. And, you know, a lot of people don't want to spend the commitment. I asked, why not? You have one chance to be great, or you have 5 years to waste time.
If you're going to do it right. Otherwise, what's the point?
Exactly. Yeah. You know, it's exactly it. Guys, I think we said what we need to say. Super pumped, guys. Pete, you're going to be busy, yes? And we'll get everybody set up. Whatever they need, take care of them.
Good stuff. Thanks, guys, for hanging out. Really appreciate the time. As always, thanks, Sean, for coming in and joining us in this event. Always good to have him. He's like a fire-breathing dragon over there. He's awesome.
I frickin'
Good stuff.
care. I just want people to do
He does.
so good. And I know what we have is unparalleled in the business. So it's just waking up that, oh wow, okay. Yeah. We'll take care of you guys, and I'll see you guys next week. I'll be around.
Yep.
Definitely.
Awesome.
Yep.
Thanks, guys.